Are you over 60 and frustrated that your erections are no longer what they used to be? Maybe you wake up in the morning and find nothing there, or during intimacy your body betrays you halfway through. For many men, this feels like the end of their manhood, but let me tell you something that might shock you. The power to get rock-hard erections again does not come from another pill or a risky procedure. It could come from something as simple as a banana, if you eat it the right way. My name is Dr. Mohit Kara. I am a urologist and men's health specialist, and for more than 30 years I have dedicated my career to helping men regain their vitality and confidence. I have sat across from thousands of fathers, husbands, and grandfathers who thought their best years were behind them. What I share with you today is not theory. It is rooted in science, proven in practice, and meant to give you hope. Here is the paradox. Most men believe erections disappear only because of testosterone decline or aging. They think they need drugs to get back what they have lost. But the truth is stranger. A simple fruit you have eaten your whole life actually holds nutrients that directly improve blood flow, relax smooth muscle, and awaken desire. The humble banana, when used properly, can succeed where medications often fail. So here is my promise to you. In the next few minutes, I will show you exactly how men over 60 can eat a banana in a very specific way to restore firm, lasting erections naturally and safely. And stay with me, because at the end, I will reveal the one timing trick that multiplies the effect. If you miss it, you will lose nearly all of the benefit. Before we dive in, if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to hit that button and turn on the bell, so you never miss another science-backed tip to keep your erections strong after 60. And if you're excited to bring back rock-hard performance, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0 to let me know how I can improve these videos for you. Now that you understand the promise of this simple fruit, let's begin with the first truth every man over 60 must face. Erections don't just fade because of age alone. They fail because of specific changes inside your body that quietly steal your strength and confidence. 1. Why erections fail after 60. When a man crosses the age of 60, something begins to change inside his body, often so slowly and silently that he doesn't notice until one night when the truth hits him like a storm. He reaches for intimacy, he wants to perform, but his erection isn't what it used to be. Maybe it's softer than he remembers. Maybe it fades too quickly, or maybe it never rises at all. And in that moment, even though no one else knows, deep inside he feels a sting of loss. It's not just about sex, it's about identity, manhood, the quiet pride of knowing your body can still respond with strength. And when that fades, it can feel like life itself is fading with it. But I want you to know, this is not your fault. Your body after 60 is not betraying you out of cruelty. It's simply changing, and the forces working against you are powerful ones. One of the biggest shifts comes from your blood vessels. When you were younger, they produced plenty of nitric oxide, a chemical messenger that tells your arteries to relax so blood can rush into the penis. Without this surge of blood, an erection simply cannot happen. But as the decades pass, your body makes less and less nitric oxide. The signal weakens, the arteries stiffen, and the flow slows down. What was once a river becomes a trickle. At the same time, the smooth muscle fibers inside the penis, those spongy chambers designed to trap blood and hold it firm, start to lose their tone. Imagine trying to fill a balloon that no longer holds air. The blood slips out, the pressure fades, and the erection collapses before you're ready. This loss of muscle responsiveness is one of the hidden reasons so many older men struggle not just to get hard, but to stay hard. Then there is the matter of circulation. The penis is often the first place where circulation problems show up because it relies on a precise, delicate rush of blood. High blood pressure, cholesterol buildup, diabetes. These conditions quietly choke off the vessels that feed your erections long before they cause chest pain or heart disease. In fact, many men are shocked to learn that erectile difficulties can be one of the earliest warning signs of cardiovascular problems. Your penis, in many ways, is like a canary in the coal mine, sounding the alarm long before bigger trouble comes. Now, as a doctor who has spent more than 30 years listening to men describe these struggles, I can tell you this. Every man feels it, not just in his body, but in his heart. They sit in my office, embarrassed, ashamed, whispering their questions as if they are confessing a secret sin. And I always tell them the same thing. You are not alone. Millions of men face this battle. And the good news, the part that too few men ever discover, is that nature has given us tools to fight back. Because while erections may fail for these reasons, they can also return for the very same reasons. Restore blood flow, relax those smooth muscles, fuel your body with the right nutrients, and erections can be strong again. Which brings us to something you may not expect at all: the hidden power inside a simple banana. How could this ordinary fruit, sitting on your kitchen counter, play a role in restoring the rock-hard erections you thought were gone? The answer will surprise you. 2. The secret power inside bananas. When I first began practicing medicine, I never would have imagined that a simple fruit could hold such powerful secrets for men's health. Over the years, I've prescribed medications, performed procedures, and studied the most advanced treatments for erectile dysfunction. Yet again and again, I return to this truth. Sometimes the most extraordinary solutions are found in the most ordinary places. The banana is one of those solutions. Most men see it as nothing more than a quick snack, something to toss into a lunch bag or slice over a bowl of cereal. But when I look at a banana, I see a natural pharmacy designed specifically to help the aging male body regain its strength, its circulation, and yes, its ability to achieve rock-hard erections. Let me explain why. The first gift of the banana is potassium. This mineral doesn't just help your heart, it relaxes the walls of your blood vessels, making it easier for blood to flow freely. Think about that for a moment. Erections are all about blood flow. Without it, nothing happens. With it, everything happens. When potassium levels are high and steady, the blood moves more smoothly, and that vital rush into the penis becomes stronger. I've seen countless men whose blood pressure improved after adjusting their diet with potassium-rich foods, and many of them reported that their erections followed right along. The second gift is magnesium. As we age, stress hormones rise, and they quietly sabotage sexual function. Magnesium works like a calming hand, lowering those stress signals, relaxing the smooth muscle inside the penis, and making it easier for erections to take hold and stay firm. I often tell my patients that magnesium is like oil for the machine. It keeps everything moving without friction or strain. Without it, tension builds, the body stays rigid in the wrong ways, and performance falters. Then there's vitamin B6, a nutrient that fuels the production of dopamine, the brain chemical that drives desire and motivation. Low dopamine often means low libido, no spark, no fire. But when you nourish your brain with B6, the lights turn back on. Men who had lost interest, who thought their passion was gone forever, often find that simple changes bring it roaring back. Add in tryptophan, an amino acid that bananas provide, which helps create serotonin and melatonin. And you're supporting not only desire, but also restful sleep. And here's a truth many men forget. The quality of your sleep directly shapes the quality of your erections. Poor sleep lowers testosterone and weakens every system involved in sexual health. This is why I call the banana a complete package. It doesn't just target one piece of the puzzle, it supports blood flow, muscle relaxation, brain chemistry, and hormone balance all at once. It's as if nature looked at the struggles of older men and quietly placed the answer on a tropical tree. But remember, knowing what's inside the banana is only half the battle. The real transformation comes when you understand how and when to eat it, because timing and method make all the difference. And that is exactly what we're about to uncover next. 3. The right way to eat bananas for erections. Now that you know what's hidden inside a banana, let me share something that too many men overlook. It's not just about what you eat, but about how you eat it. Over my years of practice, I've seen men make the mistake of treating food like medicine you can pop at any time of day, expecting instant results. But the body doesn't work that way. Timing, preparation, and context matter just as much as the nutrients themselves. A banana eaten the wrong way may do very little. A banana eaten the right way, however, can transform your body's ability to respond with strength and firmness. When I counsel my patients, I always remind them that the body works in rhythms. After a meal, your digestive system is in full swing, your blood sugar rises, and your body is busy handling what you just consumed. If you throw a banana on top of that late at night, when your metabolism is slowing down, what you gain in nutrients may be lost in poor absorption. Even worse, eating it too close to bedtime can spike blood sugar and interfere with the deep sleep your body desperately needs for testosterone production. That's why I advise eating a banana 1 hour after dinner, early in the evening, when your body is primed to process it fully and send its benefits into your bloodstream. The state of the banana itself matters too. A fruit that is too green can lead to bloating and gas, leaving you uncomfortable at the very time you want to feel at ease. On the other hand, one that is too ripe, brown, and mushy can flood your system with sugars that push insulin too high and interfere with healthy blood vessel function. The sweet spot is a perfectly ripe banana. Yellow skin with a few small brown spots, soft enough to be digested easily but not so overripe that it destabilizes your metabolism. Even the temperature of the fruit makes a difference. Many men store bananas in the fridge, thinking it keeps them fresher. Yet when you eat them cold, the chill can irritate the bladder and slow digestion. Room temperature is best, simple, natural, and easy on the stomach. And perhaps most importantly, eat your banana alone. Don't pair it with tea, coffee, milk, or watery fruits like watermelon or cucumber. These dilute its nutrients, increase the risk of bloating, and cancel out the very effects you're hoping for. What I want you to see here is that eating a banana the right way is about creating the best possible conditions for your body to receive its gifts. You are not just swallowing fruit, you are setting the stage for better circulation, calmer muscles, sharper desire, and stronger erections. And when you combine this habit with the right partner food, something remarkable happens. Because as powerful as a banana is on its own, there is a simple addition that multiplies its benefits for men's health. The combination may surprise you, and once you hear it, you'll never eat a banana the same way again. 4. The secret boosting combination. As remarkable as bananas are for men's health, there is a truth I have witnessed in both science and clinical practice. Sometimes the real power doesn't come from one single food, but from the way two natural gifts complement each other. When combined correctly, their effects don't just add up, they multiply, creating a synergy that your body can feel almost immediately. And in the case of erections, there is one simple pairing that I often recommend to my patients. It's humble, affordable, and deeply nourishing: bananas and almonds. At first glance, it seems almost too simple: a piece of fruit and a handful of nuts. But think about what's happening beneath the surface. The banana, as we've already seen, delivers potassium, magnesium, B6, and tryptophan, all nutrients that relax blood vessels, feed your brain, and calm your muscles. On its own, it already sets the stage for firmer erections. But almonds bring in another layer of strength. They are rich in vitamin E, an antioxidant that protects blood vessel walls from damage and helps preserve healthy circulation. They also provide additional magnesium, which further calms the nervous system and smooth muscles in the penis, reducing the chance of premature collapse. And perhaps most importantly, almonds supply healthy fats that stabilize hormones and support testosterone production, giving you the fuel for both desire and stamina. I remember one patient, a 64-year-old man, who came to me after years of disappointment. He had tried pills, he had tried exercises, but nothing seemed to stick. He felt drained, disconnected, and ashamed. I suggested something simple: one ripe banana an hour after dinner, paired with 5 to 7 lightly roasted almonds. Within a few weeks, he came back with a smile I'll never forget. "Doctor," he said, "I feel like my body woke up again. I didn't know something so small could make such a difference. That is the quiet power of nature when you respect it and use it wisely." Of course, this combination works best when practiced with consistency. Too many men give up after a few days, expecting miracles overnight. But your body needs time to respond, to restore balance, and to rebuild what years of stress and poor circulation have worn down. With regular practice, bananas and almonds together create a gentle but steady push toward better erections, better energy, and even better sleep. But let me also give you a word of caution. Even with powerful foods like these, mistakes can undo the benefits before they ever take root. The truth is, most men sabotage their progress without even realizing it, often through habits so common they barely notice. And that's why, before you run to your kitchen, you need to understand the pitfalls that stand in your way. Because if you don't avoid these mistakes, even the best foods in the world won't help you. So let's talk about those hidden traps next. 5. Common mistakes to avoid. No matter how powerful a food or routine might be, the results often depend not just on what you do right, but on what you avoid doing wrong. Over the years, I've seen many well-meaning men make small mistakes that completely cancel out the progress they could have enjoyed. They come to me discouraged, saying, "Doctor, I tried what you told me, but it didn't work." And when I ask a few simple questions, I realize the problem isn't the banana or the almonds or their effort, it's the hidden mistakes that quietly sabotage their success. One of the most common errors is eating bananas too close to bedtime. Many men think, if it's good for me, I'll eat it right before I go to sleep and it will work while I rest. But the truth is very different. A banana eaten too late at night can raise your blood sugar when your body is supposed to be winding down. That small spike might sound harmless, but it interferes with the deep, restorative sleep your body needs to make testosterone. Without testosterone, no amount of potassium or magnesium will give you rock-hard erections. Timing, as we discussed earlier, is critical. Another mistake is eating too much of a good thing. Some men eat 2 or 3 bananas at once, thinking more must be better, but what actually happens is the opposite. Excess fructose can overwhelm the liver, disturb insulin sensitivity, and even blunt nitric oxide, the very chemical you rely on for blood vessel relaxation. Erections require balance, not overload, and 1 medium-ripe banana is the sweet spot your body can use effectively. I also warn men about pairing bananas with the wrong companions. A banana eaten alongside a hot cup of tea, coffee, or even a late-night beer might sound comforting, but those drinks act as diuretics. They flush water out of your body, reducing hydration and circulation, 2 key elements you need for a strong erection. Others eat bananas with cold milk or watery fruits like watermelon. This may feel refreshing, but it dilutes nutrient absorption and irritates the digestive system, leaving you bloated and sluggish rather than energized and ready. Finally, there is the hidden danger of salty late-night snacks. I cannot tell you how many men undo all their good choices with a handful of chips, a salted pretzel, or a slice of pizza before bed. Sodium makes you thirsty, pushes up blood pressure, and restricts circulation, all enemies of healthy erections. It may feel small, but these habits stack up, and over time they erase the benefits of the natural foods you've worked so hard to use. So I urge you, avoid these traps. Respect the details, because details matter. A single wrong move can cost you a night of strength and confidence. But when you do it right, consistently, the difference is remarkable. And if you think avoiding mistakes is powerful, wait until you hear about the deeper, emotional side of erections. Because the truth is, this struggle is not only about the body, it is about the heart and soul of a man. That's where we go next. 6. The emotional side of erections. When men come to me with erection problems, they often start the conversation by talking about the physical side. They describe how they can't stay firm, how their desire feels weaker, or how their performance ends too quickly. But after a few minutes, once they feel safe enough, the real story begins to emerge. And it's rarely about biology alone. It's about the ache inside, the quiet shame, and the sense that something essential has been taken away from them. Erections are not just a physical response. They are tied to identity, to intimacy, to the very core of what many men believe makes them whole. I remember a patient in his 70s who leaned across my desk with tears in his eyes and whispered, "Doctor, I just don't feel like a man anymore." His wife still loved him dearly. Their bond was strong, but in his heart he carried the fear that he had failed her, that his softness was a reflection of weakness, and this is where so many men suffer silently. They don't talk about it, they don't admit it, sometimes not even to their partners. Instead, they withdraw, they hide, they make excuses, and intimacy fades. What once was a source of joy becomes a source of anxiety. But here is what I want every man over 60 to understand. You are not broken. You are not less of a man because your body has changed. You are human, and your body is responding to age, stress, and time in the same way millions of other men's bodies do. The tragedy is not that erections weaken. It's that so many men believe the weakening means the end of their masculinity. That belief does more damage than the biology itself. When you begin to reclaim your erections, even with something as simple as a banana eaten correctly, it is not just your body that comes back to life. Your confidence begins to rise, your sense of connection with your partner deepens. The sparkle in your eye returns, you walk a little taller, you laugh a little louder, and you feel again the pride that comes from knowing your body still has strength and purpose. I have watched men transform not just in the bedroom, but in every corner of their lives, simply because they found hope and healing in their sexual health. This is why I emphasize the emotional side so strongly, because when you heal here, you heal in places you didn't even realize were hurting. And it all begins with the courage to believe change is possible. If you have carried frustration or shame, I want you to know there is a way forward, and you do not have to walk it alone. Now, the question is, how do you put this knowledge into practice? How do you take the science, the nutrition, and the emotional understanding and test them in a way that proves to you beyond doubt that they can work? That's exactly what the 3-day challenge is designed to show you, and it may change your mornings forever. 7. The 3-day challenge. One of the most powerful lessons I've learned in more than 3 decades of practicing medicine is this. Men often don't believe change is possible until they feel it in their own bodies. You can read about science, you can listen to advice, you can even understand the theory perfectly, but until you experience the shift for yourself, doubt lingers in the back of your mind. That's why I created what I call the 3-day challenge. It is simple, safe, and surprisingly effective. And for many men, it is the moment where hope stops being just a word and starts becoming reality. Here's how it works. For 3 nights in a row, after your evening meal has settled, I want you to eat one perfectly ripe banana, yellow with just a few small brown spots, at room temperature, about an hour after dinner. Nothing else with it. No coffee, no tea, no alcohol, no late-night snacks, just that one banana. If you want to take it a step further, add 5 to 7 lightly roasted almonds. That's it. No complicated recipes, no supplements, no expensive treatments, just consistency, timing, and trust in the process. On the first night, you may not notice much. You might even wonder if anything is happening at all. But by the second morning, many men tell me they begin to feel something different. Maybe it's a little more energy when they wake up. Maybe it's the return of morning wood they haven't felt in years. Maybe it's simply the feeling that their body is calmer, lighter, less burdened. By the third night, the changes often grow clearer. Sleep feels deeper. Erections come easier. Confidence begins to flicker back to life. I'll never forget one patient, a 66-year-old retired teacher, who told me that after trying this for 3 days, he woke up on the 3rd morning and said to his wife, "Honey, I feel like myself again." His voice cracked as he shared this with me, because it wasn't just about the physical act. It was about dignity, hope, and the joy of knowing that his body could still respond with strength. That's what this challenge is about, showing you, in a matter of days, that change is not only possible, it is within your reach. But I will also caution you. If you skip steps, if you eat the banana at the wrong time, if you pile on extra food or drinks late at night, you will not see the results you deserve. Respect the process. Give it 3 honest days and let your body show you what it can do. And once you've tasted that first glimpse of transformation, the natural question arises, how do you hold on to it? How do you make this small win last, not just for 3 days, but for the weeks, months, and years ahead? That is where the final message becomes so important, and it's the part I want every man to hear before we close. 8. Final words of hope. After guiding thousands of men through the ups and downs of their health, I have come to believe that one of the greatest medicines a man can ever receive is hope. Not the shallow kind that fades after a few days, but the deep, steady hope that takes root when you realize your body is still capable of responding, healing, and surprising you. Too often, men over 60 are told, sometimes directly and sometimes in whispers, that their best years are behind them. They accept the decline of erections as a permanent sentence, as if age has stolen not only their strength, but their pride. And I have seen the sadness that belief creates. I've seen men withdraw from their partners, avoid intimacy, and bury themselves in silence because they feel there is nothing left to fight for. But when you begin to make small changes, when you commit to something as simple as eating a banana at the right time, when you learn to avoid the mistakes that sabotage your progress, when you give your body 3 honest days to respond, you discover that decline is not destiny. The flicker of morning wood, the strength of a firmer erection, the return of confidence in your step, these are not fantasies. They are signs that your body, even at 60, 70, or beyond, still has life and vigor waiting to be awakened. And when that happens, the look in a man's eyes changes. I see it in my office every week. A man who once sat slouched and defeated now sits tall, with a quiet smile that says, "I'm back." This is why I tell my patients that sexual health is never just about the bedroom. It's about walking through life with confidence, with connection, with the knowledge that you are still whole. It's about looking at your partner without shame, and instead feeling the warmth of intimacy flow naturally again. I've seen marriages rekindled, self-respect restored, and joy return to men who thought those days were gone forever. That, to me, is the true power of these changes. I also remind men that this is only the beginning. A banana may seem small, but it is a symbol of something greater. The possibility of reclaiming your body and your masculinity without depending on pills or procedures. When you realize that your choices matter, that your habits can heal you, you start to see opportunities everywhere, in the foods you eat, in the way you move, in the mindset you carry. Every step becomes an act of taking back control. And so, I leave you with this thought. If a simple fruit can awaken such strength, what else might be waiting for you? What other hidden solutions are out there, quietly offering you the chance to live with more power, more energy, and more passion than you ever believed possible? That is the message I want to carry into our conclusion, and it may just change the way you see your future forever. 9. Conclusion. As we come to the end of this message, I want to pause and bring everything together. We began by facing a difficult truth. Erections after 60 often fail, not because you are weak or broken, but because your body changes with time. Blood flow slows, nitric oxide production drops, smooth muscle loses its tone, and circulation struggles under the weight of years of stress, diet, and illness. Many men see this as the final word, as though aging has sealed their fate. But I've spent my life showing men that this is not the end. It is the beginning of a new chapter, one where knowledge and small daily choices can restore what was lost. We looked at the banana, a fruit so ordinary that most men never give it a second thought, and uncovered its extraordinary secrets. Potassium to improve circulation, magnesium to calm the muscles, vitamin B6 to fuel desire, tryptophan to improve sleep, all of these gifts packed into a single piece of fruit that costs less than $1. On its own, the banana becomes a tool for rebuilding strength and confidence. Then we explored the importance of how you eat it. Timing matters. The ripeness of the fruit matters. Eating it alone, at the right moment, in the right state, these details determine whether it simply passes through your body or whether it delivers its full power to your erections. Too often, men ignore the details and wonder why they don't see results. But when you respect the process, the results begin to appear. We also spoke about the secret boosting combination, bananas with roasted almonds, a simple pairing that multiplies the benefits, supporting testosterone, circulation, and stamina. I have seen men rediscover their energy and passion simply by making this one small change. Yet I also warned about the common mistakes that sabotage progress. Eating too late at night, eating too many, pairing bananas with the wrong foods, or piling on salty snacks that erase all the good work. Beyond the science and the food, we face the deeper truth. Erections are about more than the body. They are about pride, intimacy, and the bond you share with those you love. When you lose them, you don't just lose function, you lose a piece of yourself. But when you begin to restore them, even slowly, even imperfectly, you feel that piece return. You stand taller. You look your partner in the eye with confidence again. You begin to live, not just exist. That is why I challenged you to try this for 3 days. Not for me, not for science, but for yourself. Because once you feel the difference, even a flicker, you will know that change is possible. And once you know that, the door to a new future opens wide. So here is my closing thought. Aging is inevitable, but decline is optional. You have more control than you realize. And if a single banana, eaten the right way, can spark this kind of transformation, imagine what else is waiting for you when you choose to fight for your health, your vitality, and your manhood. The path is open, and it is yours to walk.